Welcome to Drunk Otaku's Review. My name is Kiara, and this is
Fox.
So today we will be reviewing No Game, No Life, which is like one of my most favorite animes. I'm even wearing the shirt from it. Yes. Anyway, so it was created by Yui Kamiya as a light novel. It started off as a light novel, and then when it became a manga, his wife actually did the illustrations for it, and her name is Mashido Harariki. And I apologize if I mispronounce this. I'm trying really hard to pronounce them right, but it's hard to find how to pronounce them online, unfortunately, a lot of the times. The anime is directed by Atsuko Ishizuka and produced by Studio Madhouse, which makes a lot of good animes. But No Game, No Life is all about two step siblings named Sora and Shiro. Now, they're really super smart. And they first meet when Shiro's like really young, and she was put in like this facility where they kept like testing her intelligence and stuff, and she was just bored. She was just bored because she could do everything like instantly. And she immediately knew that he was just like her because she's like, what did she say? She made a comment about his smile being fake, pretty much. And that's kind of how they connected with, wow, we're like the same. When we first meet the two siblings, their parents are dead, so they're living together in an apartment. And he's 18, she's 11. And all they do all day is just play games. They're totally introverts. They're shut-ins. If they're separated, they literally have panic attacks. And while they're playing these online games, they just leave the name for it blank, so they just call themselves Blank. And one day they're just playing games, and they're invited to play this chess game. So they're playing it, and then they actually beat the player. And at first I thought it was a computer, and then I realized, wait, no, this is a person. Well, it wasn't just a person. It was a god from another universe named Tet, and Tet is the cutest god on the planet, and I wish that we could all worship Tet. Now, Tet offers them to go and live in his universe, where they can just play games all day, because Tet became the god when all the old deities started fighting each other, and he was like the god of games or play. So he just sat back and watched them destroy each other. And then after they all lost, he became the god because he was the only one left. They're still like alive, but like super weak, so they can't really take over because they do kind of talk to him a little bit in the anime. But he's just like, hey, I won, so get over it.
Their spirits are alive. They do not possess bodies.
Yeah. Anyway, so he brings Sora and Shiro into his world called Discord. And they immediately show up in
do a free fall.
Yeah, they're like falling. But in Discord, he made it to where there's no stealing or killing. Everything is decided by playing a game. And he has 10 pledges that you have to follow. And anytime there's a dispute between anyone, you have to raise your right hand and like make the rules of the game, and you had to say Ashinte to basically you swear that you're gonna follow the pledges and stuff, and they'll actually go in with like magic. So magic is very incorporated into this world. So they find themselves in Elkia, which is where Humanity, which is basically that universe's version of humanity is. And they find this girl. Well, they see this girl named Stephanie Dola losing a game.
Steph.
Yeah. Now, she was the granddaughter of the king, and when he died, instead of leaving the throne to her, he left it up as a game because he wanted the best player to take over humanity so that they would actually have a chance in this universe.
The biggest gambler.
Yeah. Because in Discord, humanity kind of is at like the greatest advantage because they don't have they're at disadvantage. Because they don't have any real magical powers. They're basically like humans. So there's some people that are basically like angels, and others are like beastmen. So they have like no real power. You got elves. So they're the greatest. They're the lowest. They're the lowest of the low.
The ones covered are Beastmen, Elves, Old Deuce, Humanity. Okay, Old Deus. The Flingle. They're Angels of Death, honestly. That's all they are. And I think that's all they covered in the anime.
Yeah, but there is more.
There's 16
in the
total.
manga.
There's 16 total, but they only covered like 5
Just
or
a
6
few.
of them.
So in the anime, like Sora and Shiro actually become the king and queen of humanity. And they start going out and they start challenging other races because they realize that every race has their own kind of chess piece. And
Their race piece.
Yeah, their race piece, but it's like a chess piece.
It's in the shape of a chess piece.
Yes. And they basically asked Tet, kind of like, they're like, so if we get all the chess pieces, then does that mean we get to play you? And he's kind of just like, he like laughs about it, and he's like, you know, maybe. Like, he doesn't straight out say that, yes, you could become a god, but what he wanted was for somebody to come over and actually play with. Like, his literal last rule in the 10 pledges is for everyone to just have fun. That's all he wants. I mean, he's just a kid. He's a cute little kid. I love Tet. And it's really funny.
He's a shelter.
Yeah, it's really funny how, like, Sora gets, like, when they become, like, king, queen, Steph challenges them. Didn't it? No.
We have a guest today.
Did he challenge before, or did he challenge her after?
Huh?
Well, did they become... No, they weren't king and queen yet when he challenged Steph. Or when Steph challenged them. Was he?
When Steph challenged them to all those games?
Yeah.
No, they were king and queen.
Okay.
But
That's what I thought.
Steph wanted them to do something because they just sat around reading books all day and locked themselves in a basement room with no sunlight.
So basically, it's really like funny because they can like keep beating Steph, and then he kind of
They strip her.
Sora straight up after he beats her the first time says, "I want you to fall madly in love with me."
Oh, you're talking about the first time they meet Steph?
Yes,
Oh,
which
no,
was before. It was before they were
that was
king and
before.
queen, because they didn't have any money, didn't have any place to stay. And here's this duchess, and they're like, "Well, you got money and a place to stay." So they like challenge her to do a game. Steph is not a very smart gamer in any shape, way, or form.
She's book smart, not
strategy. She
Not
does
street
not
smart.
know strategy at all.
She has no street smart.
So Sora just makes her fall in love with her, and then later Shiro's like, you know, you could have gotten everything without having her do that. Shiro is madly in love with her older brother, and I know there's like a lot of controversy with the way that like Shiro is kind of like portrayed in the anime because she's only 11, but it's a really good anime. And he has no feelings toward his stepsister at all, in any shape or form, because he literally just sees her as like his little sister. He loves her, but as a sister.
He honestly flat out says, "I'm sorry, but I can't survive off just you. I have needs that I need to take care of."
Yeah, so he's never gonna do anything with her, so everybody can just calm down. Okay, just calm down. It's fine. He sees her as a little sister. They're never gonna do anything. They're blank. They're just a team. And I really enjoyed the anime because the music is absolutely fantastic. The visuals, it's like one of the most beautiful animes I've ever seen. The story is great. Like, dude, you feel really smart after watching it. And I'm not very like strategic at all, not really. But after watching it, I mean, I even got interested in chess after watching it. I still haven't learned. I don't have the patience to learn a lot of things, and if I don't keep up with something, I definitely forget. But you know, we have a glass chess like board, which is awesome. just wanted to bring that up. I think it's so cool.
Just rambling. You're drunk rambling.
This
now.
is what happens when you're drunk. But anyway, like they even, unfortunately, like the anime came out in like 2014, and the mangas came out before that and got really popular, and then the anime got popular. So I was like, oh, where's season 2? And there's no season 2. Unfortunately, it's been so long.
Alright, just a heads up, this can be a really long drunk rant from her. She is
Very passionate about this anime.
Yes. This is...
Okay, here's the thing about me. I really do like animes, but I had to be in a certain mood to watch them. So, if there's just an anime that I could watch anytime, like the second you say, hey, you want to watch it, like No Game, No Life, I will literally drop everything to watch it. Because I love it so much. Like when the movie came out, loved that. And if you would like a review on the movie, let us know. But I was so mad when I found out that there wasn't a season 2, because the reason why is like the most infuriating reason ever. And it's because of literally one cover done on a manga.
So, upon editing, I remembered that it was more than one illustration and there was like allegations that he was tracing it. But there was an apology. And again, the thing is, a lot of them are gonna look the same because you're all, they're drawing a lot of the same illustrations and stuff like that and poses. And people in everyday life make the same poses. So it was just insane how that happened. But it was more than one thing, but they did apologize. So it still infuriates me that it literally ended a season 2 just because one person had to be like, oh, you copied my work. But just wanted to make that correction that it was more than one. But it's still an awesome anime, there's still an awesome creator, and there's even some people suggesting that the allegations weren't even true, and that it was just somebody who might have been jealous of that person becoming famous, stuff like that. So look it up for yourself, but the anime really is worth it. Thank you guys.
It looked like somebody else's freaking cover. And it's literally just, I'll get a picture of it, but it's just like the same pose you see in so many other animes. And so many other mangas and stuff. The characters, they make a lot of the similar poses in animes. So I'm just like, somebody literally cried out going, oh, you're copyrighting me. When their anime is a completely different story. It's a completely different everything. But one little illustration, and it gets it entirely shut down. And the creators of No Game, No Life even apologized. They even apologized to the person claiming that it was copyrighted and stuff. And, I thought that was, like, really genuinely nice. Like, they probably think, well, this is crap. But they're also like, okay, we apologize that we might have, probably didn't, copied your illustrations. But again, there's so many mangas that have the same. I can go get my mangas downstairs, and I swear, a lot of them will have the same poses. It's insane. I digress. But there is hope, somewhat, for season 2 because of the movie that came out about, 2 years ago? There's a movie that came out about 2-3 years ago. First it was released in Japan, and then they did release it to, the English later. But the movie is so good, it goes back to the origin. If you want a video on that, let me know. But after the movie came out, the popularity for No Game, No Life just skyrocketed again. And I know there's they're on a lot of different seasons for the mangas. I cannot afford to buy mangas because if I wanted to buy every single manga that I love the anime of, I don't have a bookshelf big enough. I don't have enough money to do all of that, unfortunately, because I would love to. So that's why we have anime to watch, because it pretty much gives you the gist of what's going on. So hopefully someday, I stay up to date online a lot with No Game, No Life. I will look at least twice a month to see if there's any new conversation about a season 2. And so there seems to be some interest in maybe, possibly not promising anything, really wanted to, they're making a season 2. And I really, really, really hope that they do, because it's such a great anime. Sora and Shido are just they're really huge dorks, They really are, but they're so like cute together. It's like the brother-sister aspect and the team working. And the way they treat Steph is hilarious. Like they literally made her like a pet one day.
They made her a dog for a day.
They made her a dog for a day.
And it wasn't for 24 hours. It was based off from the time they get up to the time they go to sleep. And they have a tendency to stay up for a few days.
Yeah, so she might be stuck like that for a while. But I mean, and then they make all sorts of other friends with like other races too. Like they make an elf friend and an angel friend, and their games like that they play. Oh my god, the games that they play will literally blow your minds. Like the one with the angel, the entire time it was just insane the way they did it because it was like a word game, and they were using words that she had never heard of and stuff like that, and they totally outsmarted like a freaking angel, which is on my shirt. And I love that. That was like one of my most favorite parts was like that game between them and the angel, because it was just a like basically how smart you are with words. And they tested her out immediately. They immediately tested out what she knew. And so they had won after the first word.
Because they use atom bomb.
Yeah. So they had basically won.
Once they figured out that they could use words that she didn't know that they knew of, which applied to the physics of the universe and planets and is it physics or is that
astrology?
Geography.
No, geography is the earth. Astrology is like the study of the stars and
they're
stuff.
talking about removing the atmosphere and all that, and the crust and the inner core. And
basically, they use science, and they don't really have science in this world because they're kind of a primitive world.
they've got magic.
They've got magic, and when you got magic, apparently science doesn't matter anymore.
Not really.
But I really would highly recommend. You can find it on Netflix, which is awesome because I know a lot of people have Netflix. And it's just so good, so beautiful. It's hilarious a lot of times too. Like just seeing Sora and Shido get freaking separated is hilarious because they literally just grow into balls, just going, "Where did you go? I need you," kind of stuff. Like just rambling, and Steph is just sitting there like, "What's wrong with these two?" And I'm just like, "Is that like 100% introverts are like?" I mean, I'm like halfway. I'm an introvert extrovert. Where if my friends are having a party or they want to go out to like a club or something, totally do that. But 90% of the time, I just like being at home. And you're kind of the same way. We only go out if our friends are doing things. But so it's just funny to see them have full-blown panic attacks when they literally never go out. They're like the kind of people that probably just get everything straight delivered to their door without even interacting with the delivery driver. That's what I see with Sora and Shido. But I can't praise this anime enough the way it is. Just with Tet and the intelligence that it has itself. Like Sora and Shido have literally been rated as like the two most intelligent anime characters of all time. Which is just amazing. And I really wish that like there was more, because it deserves to have more the way it is. It really, really does. The storyline is great. Like, you get to see these two normal kids, well, not normal, but like super smart from a different universe, get to take on a god, and he just wants to have fun. He was bored, basically. He was bored because nobody was smart enough to come and challenge him, and then so he reached out to these kids. And he really, the thing is, Tet really wants them to win too. That's the thing. You can tell Tet wants them to win because he wants somebody to play with. He wants somebody smart enough. I mean, they beat him once. And that excited him to the point where he just dragged them out of their world into this all gaming world where everything is based off the game. Literally, everything's side of the games. And it's great. So you guys should go look it up. No Game, No Life on Netflix. Again, if you want us to review the movie that came out because that was just as good, please let us know in the comments, or like the video. You know, if we get like, I don't know, 20 likes, we'll do the movie. So, this has been Drunk Otaku's review Have a good day or night or whatever time you're in. And we will see you next time.
Godspeed.